Hello and welcome back to another F1 Fantasy 2022 video for the Austrian Grand Prix, a sprint weekend. So we're doing this on a Friday. This feels wrong, but here we are. We're going to get straight into it. Team 1, and I think we need to make a big decision. I think it's time for the McLaren car to go. And to do this, we need to free up some funds. So Perez is going to have to leave as well. And we're going to return to the Ferrari car. 25 million leaves you with 11.1 million dollars left, which will give you a very solid, respectable midfield driver. Now it's up to us who we pick, of course. But for 11.1 million, you can get everyone up to Valtteri Bottas downwards. Going off FP1's first times here, the only session before qualifying. Here they are. Got the Hasses of Magnussen and Schumacher up there, which means we could. Let's try and sneak a cheap K-Mag or Mick Schumacher in there. I'm feeling a sneaky Magnussen, and then we ditch Albon or Tsunoda here to try and improve someone else. How much are Albon on Tsunoda? Tsunoda's 8.3, so if we ditch Tsunoda, that'll give us like 13.3 million, which gives us enough for Alonso. Now, Alonso is an interesting one because his time of 107.1 dead set on medium tyres and is only 8/10 off pole position. I don't think Alpine are going to get pole position, but it's interesting. So I think Alonso, welcome back, you're in, and there we are. Now, I'll save it for now. It's not going to take me out of it, is it? It is, but I'm going to go back into that team because I think it's time for the Mega Driver. And I think it can only be on Max Verstappen. He loves Austria. Austria is his place. It's what he dominates it every single year we've been here. It's just his happy place. You know, he had his 2 victories here last year. Max Verstappen paradise. So I'm going to gamble on Max Verstappen with Mega Drive for this team. There we go. If you have to use your Mega Drive, I think this is probably one of the optimal times to use it on Max, because quite clear the Red Bull are very quick. Ferrari are there or thereabouts, but Max Verstappen just loves Austria, doesn't he? Yep. It's that. For Team 2, I think this one's pretty solid. I think there's not much Team 2 change here. You know, Hamilton's there, Verstappen's there, Leclerc's there. We covered all bases there. Verstappen, Leclerc, and Russell is up there. Hamilton is there in 5th, 2/10 off George. So either Mercedes driver is available for that. George or Hamilton. If you pick George, you'll be able to then sacrifice someone like Mick, and then put someone better in there. Probably Alonso would be a good shout. That's probably the change. That's pretty decent little change, actually. Hamilton out, Russell in, Alonso in as well, because Alonso's on a qualifying streak, so he's going to couple of extra points, I believe, if he gets into the top 10. If he qualifies for Q3, which it looks like the Alpine is doing, but then, knowing Alpine, they will muck it up somehow, and Alonso will be P19. So there we go. I've jinxed it now. So that team change: Russell in, Alonso in. Alfa Romeo we're going to keep because it's a decent little car. You know, Bottas is stuck from the back, but if you want to have this level of talent, you need to have a budget somewhere. So, and it is on the Alfa Romeo car. And the final team. Now, this is an interesting one because I actually don't know what to do with it. It's got the Ferrari car. We've got Alonso. We've got Leclerc. We've got Perez instead of Max, which I've just been talking about how we need Max Verstappen in this team. So I think not having Max Verstappen in this team is a bit of an insult, really. So the obvious sacrifice is Sainz, Perez, and Albon. We go Max, and then that leaves you 7.1 per driver then. Or if you go Magnussen, it leaves you 8.1. Which is an Albon again. So have I just built 2 teams exactly the same? But I think we try and squeeze Max in. I've used the Mega Drive on this team before, so it's going to happen. Also, we're coming up to the mid-season reset of the Mega Drive, where you get an extra one for the second half of the season anyway. So try and use it, get it in there. Also, Charles Leclerc, throughout all of these, is always the best turbo drive option, because he's always going to finish the highest, normally, depending on what Ferrari decide to do. And he's the cheapest rated driver for it. So that would be the changes. I would Mega Drive Verstappen if you still got it. Get Verstappen in your team. Verstappen features in all your teams. I've realised I've built 2 teams exactly the same, so that proves how good this combination I think will be. So an optimal team based on what I've built is Leclerc, Verstappen, Magnussen, Albon, Alonso, and the Ferrari car. It's interesting. So, but thank you all very much for watching. That's been this week for the Austrian Grand Prix. Good luck with your teams. Any questions, leave them in the comments below. Subscribe if you like it. Thank you all very much, and goodbye.